Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about the fact that President Trump intends on cutting lawful immigration, guys, listen carefully, lawful immigration by 49%. We're going to talk about which categories are most impacted by this and what is driving this decrease or this reduction in lawful immigration. So stay tuned for all of those details. Friends, before I dive into it, as I always say, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this community. Now, let's dive into this, friends. Lawful immigration is under attack. Without question, we know that President Trump from day one was focusing on immigration. But, you know, many people think that a lot of his policies are trying to reduce unlawful immigration, those who come in the wrong way or those who lie, they misrepresent, they commit fraud. We would think that those are the people that he's targeting, and certainly those who have committed a crime in the US, right? But when you look at the numbers, guys, and you look at the policies that he has set in place, you will find that a lot of the focus has been on lawful immigration processes, I should say. And I'm going to share my screen with you and take you through the numbers, take you through a really terrific article that came out just recently, actually, from Forbes, which talks about the fact that, well, the headline is Trump cuts legal immigrants by half, and he's not done yet. And so this article goes on to make an argument about economics, the fact that the labor supply, guys, the labor supply needs immigrants. According to the article, it says that without immigrants contributing to the quality and quantity of the labor supply, the majority of the economic growth gains America saw between 2011 and 2016, followed by the last recession, would not have happened. So the growth that we saw was a result of immigrants being part of the labor force in America. Now, the article further says that immigrants and their children contributed more than 1/2 of workforce growth in the past 2 decades. Due to the retirement of baby boomers and population aging in general, immigration will play an even larger role in workforce growth going forward than it has in the past. So it goes through this background of why it's so important for us to continue to have a thriving immigration system, right? A system that welcomes immigrants and allows those immigrants to join the workforce. The bottom line is in the numbers, right? It's about the economics. It makes perfect economic sense. Now, let's talk about the numbers, friends. This is where it really matters. Who is being targeted by these policies from the Trump administration that is virtually cutting in half lawful immigration? And so I'm going to hone in on this table so that you guys can see the numbers here for yourself. And so this table, the data was compiled by the National Foundation for American Policy, Department of Homeland Security. And so they are looking at 2016 numbers versus what they're projecting the fiscal year 2021 numbers will be with respect to those who will be cut out of the lawful immigration system and the decline that's going to happen across categories. Now, the first category that I think we really need to be very concerned about is the immediate relatives of U.S. citizen category. And so according to the data in this article, in fiscal year 2016, 566,000 individuals were able to obtain a green card or lawful permanent residence who are immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, compared with only 269,000 that's projected for fiscal year 2021. And so that would be a decline of 297,000 people, or to be precise here, 297,575 people, or a 53% in decline in the lawful permanent resident decline. That's tremendous, right? Because these are, when we talk about immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, we're talking about spouses, we're talking about about children under 21 and unmarried. We're talking about parents of U.S. citizens. And so this captures quite a bit of people, and it not only impacts the immigrant, right? It also impacts the U.S. citizen as well, who wants to be closer to his or her family. The other category that's impacted in a very negative way is refugees. And so with respect to refugees, they're projecting that there's going to be a 71% decline in that category. And then asylees, guys, you hear so much about the fact that people are at the border, they're being detained at the border in these awful conditions. They can't come in. Interviews are not happening to determine whether people have a credible fear of persecution or not, right? And so we know that that's under attack. And so they're expecting a 67% decline in asylees becoming lawful permanent residents. And now, guys, this is it. This is it right here. This category, this is the family-sponsored preference system. So with respect to this system, guys, you know, we're talking about people who fall into a preference category, and they have to wait until their priority date becomes current before they're able to move forward with a visa application and then immigrate into the U.S. after they obtain an interview at the U.S. Embassy. We're talking largely about those individuals. Now, of course, there are some folks who are here in the United States who fall into the preference system as well, but it is a smaller number compared to those outside of the U.S. And in fact, about 94% of individuals who come in through the family-based system are outside of the United States, and the others are here within the U.S. So it's a big group of people that we're talking about. So we're talking about spouse and children of green card holders. We're talking about siblings of U.S. citizens. We're talking about adult children of U.S. citizens as well. And so according to this data, guys, what are we looking at here? Back in 2016, 238,000 people immigrated through the family preference system. Look at what we're projecting for 2021, 19,000. So that's a decline of 92%. Yes, 92% decline. And you might be saying, why in the world is there such a sharp decline in those coming into America through the family-based system? And friends, that's because of the travel ban that's in effect, the proclamation, I should say, that went into effect on June 24th, 2020. And so that proclamation suspends entry on individuals who fall into this family preference system until December 31st, 2020. And if President Trump is reelected, I should say, then everyone is expecting him to continue that ban. And so that's where they're getting this from. Who else is impacted by the decline? Well, we see that the employment-based preference category is actually on the surplus side, so to speak, right? They're projecting that more people will become lawful permanent residents through an employment-based category. Now, what other category has been zeroed out? The category that has been zeroed out here, friends, is the diversity visa lottery winners. With respect to the diversity visa program, you guys may or may not know that individuals who win that lottery must obtain the immigrant visa within the same year of winning the lottery. And so fiscal year for the federal government ends September 30th, right, of each year. And so under this new proclamation, virtually no one who won that diversity visa is able to come in because they cannot obtain their immigrant visa before the fiscal year ends. And so lawsuits are being filed, certainly, for these diversity visa winners. And so we'll see whether that aspect of the proclamation there will be some sort of injunction. And guys, you should also know that there is another litigation going on that would place an injunction on this proclamation as well. So that's going through the system. And certainly if they're successful at this lawsuit, then certainly I will let you guys know. Then there's also this catch-all category, guys, the rest of legal immigration system. They're not projecting a decrease or even an increase in lawful immigration for those who fit into that category. And so we're talking obviously maybe about victims of domestic violence, juveniles who have been abandoned, neglected, or abused, and some other special categories fit into this one. Another thing I forgot to say earlier, actually, and the article touches on this, and you've been hearing me say this for quite some time, is that public charge, right? Another reason why they're projecting this sharp decline or reduction in lawful immigration is also because of public charge, and the fact that public charge applies virtually to everyone on the outside trying to come in through the lawful immigration system, unless the individual is seeking asylum in the US. And so public charge will place a lot of burden on people as they're applying for that immigrant visa, and the expectation is that more and more people will be declined because of the new tough public charge rules. So just to recap, friends, the Trump administration, their policies are now colliding. All of these different changes and executive orders and public charge, all of these issues are now colliding, and we're now able to see some real numbers of the impact of all of this. And the bottom line number is that lawful immigration is expected to be cut in almost half, 49%, according to the data that is being reported out here. So friends, comment below, let me know your thoughts on this. It's not great news, obviously, but at least, you know, this is not new to us, really, right? Anecdotally, we've been saying that all of these policies, the intent is to cut immigration in half or approvals in half. And now we actually have some real numbers to show. And now we also know which categories are most impacted by all of those policies when you put it all together. So friends, I hope you found this video helpful. Like, comment, and share it with others. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.